What makes adults want to do drugs, huh? All the druggies I see around my place, they're all, they all have bicycles instead of vehicles and stuff. So some of them live like 10 miles from town, and you'll see them every day making the same commute. If you come through there at the same time, they're on their bikes. Sometimes they're pushing them uphill, sometimes they're pushing them downhill every day. And I know they live in a little shack that they built out of pallets or a tent on somebody's land. I know they're probably not supposed to be there, or maybe they're allowed to be there. But I'm just wondering what makes an adult see that and be like, "Yeah, man, you know what? I think I'll try some meth." I think this weekend at the party when Billy Joe asked me, I'm gonna probably try that meth that he's got. I don't understand that. I know drugs have impacted most of our lives, probably. If you're watching this, I'm sure drugs have impacted your life somehow. Somebody you know is on drugs, and it has probably destroyed their life. They may have been a completely different person before they decided they would try some drugs or whatever happened to them. Now, I know a lot of people's circumstances are different. Say, like somebody gets in an accident and they're hurt bad and they get on certain opioids that's supposed to help the pain and or whatever, and then they get addicted to that, and maybe that goes from one thing to the next. But hell, opioids are pretty bad too. I know a lot of that's impacting a lot of our lives. There are a lot of adults who function on opioids, so they don't destroy their lives completely like a meth head would. They're on the opioids; it's affecting them, but they still live an ordinary life. If you know what I'm saying, right? They still have a house and all that, but they're still feeding their addiction. They could be better than what they are, but they're still feeding their addiction. I don't know, man. I don't get it. Now, look, I drink my beer, but it doesn't destroy my life, right? There's a difference in somebody who's doing a substance and they're letting it control their entire life, and then somebody who does something kind of recreational, or however you say that, and they just kind of have fun. They do it on the weekends. I think that's fine. Now, the really hard stuff that's super addicting, I don't think you probably shouldn't do that at all. And I'm talking about like meth and heroin. And if you're really a addictive type of person, if your personality's like that where you can get addicted pretty quick, you probably might want to stay away from alcohol and anything like that. Honestly, damn. I mean, shit. Seriously. I drive around my job and I see like old trailers, like mobile homes and shit, with trash just piled up everywhere. It's just crazy. There's old fucking just, you would think nobody lives here. I'm like, nobody lives here. In my job, sometimes I have to go in their yard and get to the power pole, and I'm thinking there's no way anybody lives here. So I'm just going to kind of drive through this yard as if it's mine, and then I'll be working, and next thing I know, the fucking plywood that's leaning up on the door comes slamming down, and somebody looking out, and they're like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? Motherfucker, you live here without AC or power? I mean, what is going on?" And I don't get that. Y'all, I'll try to drive around and try to find some of that and pop it up in this video, but there is some, you wouldn't believe some of the shit I see out here. I just don't get it though. So what makes, and I'm not talking about teenagers who are dumbasses and they're partying and they want to try a drug because they think it's fun and it makes them have a good time, whatever, and then they become addicted then, right? Because you're a dumbass when you're a teenager. You think you know everything, but you're really a dumbass. I'm talking about full-grown adults who haven't really done any drugs, or they did do drugs and they got clean, but now that they're an adult, something made them go ahead and try drugs, and then next thing you know, boom, their life is completely upside down, and you see them on their bicycle every day, commuting to town or whatever, begging for money, or they lost all their teeth, they're fucked up. You can tell they ain't had a shower in 2 weeks, but they'll do a little gig to get them some drug money. I just want to know what makes a person want to do that, because I honestly don't get it. I've never seen one and been like, yeah, definitely gonna try some meth. That's another thing. I mean, meth's not a popular thing around my house. It's not like people are bragging about doing meth, so I don't. People brag about how much beer. Oh, I drank a lot of beer this week. I drank so much, but I never hear anybody say, "Man, you know how much meth I done over the week? I've done so much." And maybe meth heads do that with each other. I don't know because I don't hang around them. As soon as somebody gets off on the deep end around me, I quit hanging around those people, so I wouldn't know. Anyway, but I guess if you know, let me know in the comments. But how does that work? Because you got full grown ass adults living their life normally, and then they decide to go do that, and next thing you know, they don't have a house and shit. Or if they do have a house, you look at their front yard and it's just got fucking junk, and I mean not even good junk, trash, worthless fucking trash, dude. It's crazy. That's just something I don't get it. I don't understand that shit.